Gemini, we are going to do your May fortnightly reading for the final 2 weeks of the month from the 17th through to the 31st. Please know that all time is fluid. So this may reflect energies you are currently integrating. It may reflect energies you are processing, embodying, healing from. It also may be a heads up, okay? So take what resonates and leave the rest. Now, if this is your first time to the channel, thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. My name is Ali. I'm an intuitive energy healer. You can find out a little bit more about the work that I do with Indigo Ascension at the links below to my Facebook and my website address. I offer two styles of readings on the channel, so fortnightly and monthly readings. So check out your May Practically Soulful reading if you haven't already. So let's see what the final 2 weeks of the month may bring the beautiful Geminis that I'm connecting into. So now I connect into the most strongest frequencies that I pick up on. And that's simply my simple intention is to connect into those who are sort of wanting to look for that clarification of what they intuitively already know, Gemini. So I'm very passionate about that in my healing and intuitive work. It's about connecting to empaths, intuitives and sensitives, those that find themselves on the awakening journey. And, we are our greatest guides, healers and counsel. So I simply, intend only to confirm what you already intuitively know yourself, and perhaps even spark a bit of divine inspiration and activation when it comes to your soul path too. So, like I said, take what resonates and leave the rest. Let's see what energy wants to come up for you, my darling. Animal kingdom, let's work with that. Underneath that is boundaries. I'm connecting in to Geminis. It's interesting because I get different scenarios and messages and visions when I see the cards that I work with all of the time, but I'm actually feeling not even primal, maybe primal. Wow, that's a bit exciting, Gem. Animal instincts. I'm feeling even that grounding down in the base chakras is what I'm picking up on. That practical application of what we know from a higher consciousness. Okay, so this is about that very human, everyday realities and fulfilling obligations, responsibilities, and connecting into raw energies. Okay, I want to call it primal because it's instinctual. All right, I feel like I'm connecting into Geminis that are getting satisfaction from connecting into those base chakras, so chakra 1 and 2. All right, apply that however it resonates. But by all means, as we move towards this full moon in the coming 2 weeks, which is June the 5th, you may be noticing within the animal symbolism around you, whether you scroll and see an image on Facebook, okay, whether you see it in your environment, there are certain animals that are trying to get your message. So by all means, if you see something repetitively, that it gets to a point where it gets to your awareness, you're like, wow, that's the third butterfly that has fluttered in my face today, or that's the 6th frog I've seen. Whatever the case may be, you will know. It's interesting, birds have been sort of trying to get my attention lately. Are they budgies? I'm not sure what they would call. I wouldn't even know. I'd have to look them up. But there's these 2 wild budgies that have been flying around my home and sort of showing up at the front tree or at the backyard on the neighbour's roof. And this morning a bird flew into my little outdoor area. So, it was quite special. But whatever animal is calling to you, I feel like the Geminis out there will know, what is unique for your experience this time. So by all means, look up that symbolism, okay? But when the animal kingdom calls, we're very much connected empathically to our pets. They provide amazing healing and therapeutic benefits. Just, even just spending time with them. They just want our time. They just simply want our time. And that makes them happy, and sharing that space with them is healing for us too. So apply it how it resonates. Let's take a look and see what the cards want to say. There is a lot of raw freedom in this card too. It's that base primal energy that I was picking up on. Look at the bear. Look at the strength of the wolf. Look at the freedom in the birds, you know. You're about to come, you've got, you know, you've had the higher view on something, Gemini. I'm just noticing the birds, the eagle and the owl, okay? You've had the higher view on something, an idea, an opportunity, a challenge even, you know, a recent situation that you've come out of. You might also be about to land the prize. See the position of the owl? And you might be coming in strong, like that energy of the bear. Like there's something, a concept, an idea, a connection, something you're wanting to take to the next level, and you were perhaps super patient in the recent past, you know, as we're sort of immersed now in new moon energy. And the new moon is in Gemini, darling. It is your new moon. This is your time to land. Not just launch, but land where you are, as you are, embodied with the energy of all that you are. As you know, the May full moon in Scorpio at the start of this month kicked off 4 planets in retrograde. You know, we've got Venus in retrograde, Saturn in retrograde, Pluto in retrograde, and Jupiter in retrograde. Quite simply speaking, from an astrological point of view, like we're very much going back through the timeline at all the wisdoms we have integrated, perhaps even the wisdoms we have avoided. Because retrogrades are about bringing them back into our awareness, yeah? We're going through the timelines at all the wisdoms we have integrated already, and the ones that we perhaps have not, and yet have now another opportunity to do so. When it comes to the realms of love, connection, intimacy, when it comes to the rules and boundaries we've been told to live by society, religion, family values, when Jupiter goes into retrograde, that is thanks to Venus and Saturn into retrograde, because Saturn rules structures, boundaries, rules. With Jupiter in retrograde, we're really looking at the idea of expansion and opportunity and abundance, yeah? So, and when that goes into retrograde, we're reviewing how we've perhaps pushed away opportunity out of fear, or avoided an opportunity for growth and expansion because we've been simply stuck in old mindsets, whether we've been consciously aware of that or not. And that is the gift of Pluto in retrograde. It is bringing stuff up from our subconscious awareness. We do all have patterning, Gemini. We all have deeper drives that are based in fear, perhaps, that once we're aware of them, it is then in our conscious awareness, yeah? So that we can then travel up further still into a higher conscious awareness, Gemini, and really look at how to, like your oracle card says, come into landing with something. After that higher view, we can come into land. And I'm picking up on 2 frequencies with this card too. You can take the high road, high view on something, Gemini, or you can engage your primal levels. Now, obviously, at the risk of us engaging in our ego, our animalistic instincts, when we're reacting, not responding from awareness, but we're reacting out of fear because there's a sense of needing to survive. That's never come up in a card before for me. 2 of Cups is the beginning of a beautiful relationship. It's the beginning of a new emotional equilibrium within yourself. You know, I always look at this 2 of Cups as, and any of the relationship cards, yeah, even the Lovers card. This is the minor arcana, the lower octave of the divine union, which is ruled by Gemini. So that is the Lovers card. This is the lower octave. God, can I even speak? I've just come out of meditation, so I'm not quite here yet, Gem. Sorry. Speaking of animalistic and base chakra needs, where's my human self gone? This is the lower octave of the Lovers card, okay? So this might represent the beginning of a beautiful new connection. This might represent the reinvigoration in an existing one. At any rate, I feel strongly that these energies are always, they must begin in self first, yeah? This is wanting, desiring emotional equilibrium with another, within ourselves. Let's see what else the story wants to tell. after a time of awareness and a higher view, thanks to the Hanged Man. In the recent past is the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is the celebration card, the marriage card, the wanting to be recognized and seen, yeah, for who we are. Above this is the Page of Swords, which is definitely a communication card, but it's also the watching card. That's your energy as well. Below this is the Four of Coins, Gemini. What's likely to happen next is the World. You are closing a chapter, my dear, and definitely beginning a whole new one. It might be in regards to conflict, conflicting energies, conflict with others. There's something coming to an end here, and there's a whole new way of dealing with that, okay? Thanks to the Five of Swords. The Eight of Coins is something you're simply going to work on. It's feeling conflicted about a business. And the reason I said business is because I'm now seeing the Ten of Coins. Feeling conflicted about a career path, a business, what I'm wanting to work on and focus on. Eight of Coins, Ten of Coins, the Knight of Coins. All right, my loves, let's have a look. Temperance card. There's some beautiful healing thanks to the Temperance card underneath all of this. We're blending, there's harmony here. That's because I even feel there's an apology after a time of being in conflict, you know, after a time, because look at this. And you know, it could be a refresh and a reset in an existing connection. Now, take that however you want, however it resonates for you. Connections happen everywhere, you know, not just with our intimate partners, but our close family, our friends, our acquaintances, our colleagues, all right? And yes, it is very common for us to be in conflict with self. Do we follow our head? Do we follow our heart, Gemini? There's a balancing here, a spiritual balancing after a time perhaps, and I feel strongly there is still a risk of you either reacting or responding, okay? We can take the higher view and come in with our wisdom, thanks to that owl, and keep our eye on the prize, or we can react out of fear, based on our animal instincts, yeah? I feel that strongly when I'm looking at this card while I'm connecting into the Geminis I'm connecting into. So there's a choice ahead, but you truly want to close a chapter. You truly want to end a cycle in some way, Gemini. You are celebrating the journey that has been, okay? Maybe this is in relation to a marriage or a connection that definitely feels like that kind of a commitment energy, okay? Maybe you're wanting, or you're finally recognizing, maybe someone is finally recognizing you and seeing you for who you are, and there's this higher awareness within the connection, within self. Maybe you are finally recognizing something key here when it comes to this that I was talking about. You're recognizing the importance of picking battles wisely. We can go all in like this, or we can be wise and just, we know which battles we want to engage in. I feel that's relevant for some Geminis. You're recognizing the value that this higher view has brought you thanks to the Hanged Man. This is an awakening card. We're awakening to that next level of ourselves. We're awakening to that next way in which we want to experience a connection, the way in which we want to, or how we have experienced confusion, conflict, yeah? When we're in retrograde energy, it takes us back through the timeline. We're gaining the wisdoms perhaps from the past, and we're recognizing what was needed in a particular connection. And that's perhaps I'm connecting into some Geminis that are wanting to integrate that now. I do feel in many ways though, Gem, you're in a waiting and watching phase, okay? If this is about marriage, everything, or connection, okay? Everything that I've said, and this could definitely be a strong family connection, all right? Everything that I've said just then is relevant. If this is about business, career, choosing that, because I'm feeling strongly that there's this other frequency I'm picking up on where someone out there in the beautiful Gemini frequency is trying to make a head and heart decision when it comes to their career, their offering. Whether that is you shifting from mainstream work, okay, a mainstream secure full-time job, into something where you're doing your business part-time or whatever the case may be, there is something here you're committed to working on to see, and you'll, no matter how long it takes, no matter how long this journey takes, no matter how long that pathway takes me, I'm in it for the long haul, because you've got the 8 of coins, the 10 of coins, and the Knight of coins. The Knight of coins is slow-moving energy. But this dedication guarantees you success because you're moving at that slow and steady pace, Gemini. You're willing to not rush things, okay? And that's important when it comes to the things that are most dear to us, our biggest goals, our biggest dreams. You know, it's important to remain grounded with that earth energy, thanks to the coins. Grounded, coming down to ground, yeah? Not staying up here where it's wishy-washy, you know, it's well, it's not wishy-washy. There's a lot of strength in eagle energy, okay? But I feel like if this is relevant to you, watch how many birds you notice that are coming into land. Watch how many planes you're noticing that are coming into fly into land. I know there's not a lot of plane activity, but given the circumstances we're in, but you'll know what I mean. And on the days that you're heightened, here we go, this just keeps going. On the days that you feel heightened or tempted to react rather than respond, okay? So I might even title your video that one. React, respond. The value of knowing both, yeah? Or even choosing our battles wisely. Sorry. Because it takes, you know, I'm doing 30 to 40-minute videos, so I can't really watch the whole clip again to determine what message I should be sort of titling these things. Choosing battles wisely. Maybe that's a relevant little message on its own, Gemini. And on the days that you feel heightened, okay, tempted to react in conflict, because this is a thing. On the days that you feel tempted to react to life, your goals, your plans, this connection, whatever the case may be, on the days that you feel tempted to react with conflict or fear, I do want to ask you to perhaps even look up, be aware, notice. Maybe you might hear a dog growl. Maybe you will notice that animalistic mirror out there in the animal kingdom. You might notice birds fighting. You might notice, you know, when they're protecting their territory, a mother protecting her nest, whatever the case may be. A cat hissing, you know, watch the animal kingdom. They are vital messengers for you. There's messages here for you. This is a message. What's crowning you is the Page of Swords. Now, the Page of Swords has some interesting energy. In its shadow, it's a stalker. Maybe you're watching things and waiting and seeing how best you handle something. Maybe you're learning things. When it comes to your career, maybe you're watching someone else do something and wondering how you might be able to, maybe you're conflicted in what you're currently doing and how it's done out there in the market, or something to that effect is what I'm feeling. With the Page of Swords, nonetheless, it invites us into genuine communication, okay? Because the Page of Swords is reluctant to communicate. It's just a watchy energy. Like if you look at its face, it's really, I'll just close up on the card. And every single Page of Swords tarot that you will ever see, don't mind my nails. How exciting that the nail salons are open though, meanwhile. Better go get mine done today before the kids come home. Look at his face. See? And in every Page of Swords tarot card you'll come across, you'll notice it's that same watchy energy. So, you know, they're not necessarily saying anything. It's not open communication. So that's the invitation, yeah? Authenticity is the key, always. But sometimes when we are picking our battles wisely, like I mentioned earlier, we can just observe. There is wisdom in that too. So that is the light side of this card. But I feel like I'm connecting into Geminis that are waiting and watching before they determine their next step. Because you're also waiting and watching when it comes to the Hangman. We're taking a different view. The way you're starting to see a past challenge, your potential future pathways, choices. You're seeing them in a whole new way. Thanks to some form of emotional equilibrium that's happened. whatever wisdom that was gained, I do want to strongly encourage that you hang on to that. Hang on to it. You know, the Four of Coins is also reluctant to invest, okay? It's the knowing that we've got this, it's this slow and steady energy that I was picking up on as well. You know, it's, I know that I've only got the Four of Coins, but one day it will be the 10. And it's unrealistic of me to think, oh, I'm not there where I want to be yet. Or if it isn't in regards to this Page of Swords energy and you are building a business, or you're watching how things are done out there in the market by others, you know, it's seeing others that perhaps reflect this. This is not about money. This is about achieving that 10 of coin level of whatever that means, okay? You might be seeing that you feel that you're only at the Four of Coins, you know? Our path and our purpose, you know, it comes at the time that is right for us. The way something evolves, whether it's a connection, the full integration and realization of a business idea, it takes time, Gemini. Things take time, but I do see here you're keeping some form of wisdom that you've recently gained, and that is something to take with you, yeah? And when it comes to picking and choosing our battles wisely, we take with us only the wisdom of knowing sometimes it is best for all concerned that I just do not engage. Okay, that I feel that's relevant for some people, because there's a spiritual healing underneath all of this. Underneath the deck, there's a spiritual healing that was necessary or is necessary currently. And that first starts with a higher view and emotional balancing within, so that that can then happen within a connection. Between you, when I say a connection and experience, you know, there's those frequencies and storylines that I pick up on, and it could be between you and another, you and a concept, you and an idea, you and this thing, this other side of the table, yeah? Let's take a look. Temperance, like I said, is about spiritual healing. Maybe you're connecting into a Sagittarius. There's also a good balance, guys. You've got every element on the table here. You've got the swords, you've got the wands, you've got the cups, you've got the coins. There is potential here to truly balance and achieve equilibrium within self, so that you can achieve this success and commit to it. Commit to this new path, commit to this new relationship, commit to this new elevation within an existing relationship. There's a chapter wanting to close, guys. When the world shows up, the world truly is our oyster. We have to trust in the magic of new beginnings that are promised by the Two of Wands. Our goals yet. The Two of Wands is about not seeing the manifestation of our goals yet, as is evident by the Three of Wands. But if you see here, she has Two of Wands, one in each hand. She knows that what is to come is probably more bountiful and exactly destined for her than where she has been. And it's not like we're running from what was. We're not running from the wisdoms. We want to take the wisdom, the lessons with us, you know. But what we do want to leave behind is the conflict. There's 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Chakra 4, 5, 6, Gemini. Heart, throat, third eye. That's what's inviting you to expand and open up, okay? That is relevant, because I strongly felt the 1 and 2 with this animal instinct, this reacting out of fear, an old paradigm, old ways of responding, yeah? Rather than responding with wisdom. We are operating in the highest chakras when we are responding with wisdom, when we are picking our battles wisely, when every day we choose to see things from a higher view, when every day we choose emotional equilibrium within. There was a spiritual healing here. There was a spiritual healing here within self that had to happen. Because you wanted to get clear, you wanted to cut something away, you wanted to level up in some regard. What you can achieve over the next year, this new frequency, this new storyline, this new mindset, this new heart expansion that you're going through will take you through. See what you can achieve in the next year. Yes, there will be commitment. Yes, there will be success. Yes, there will be marriage, the dynasty, something you can genuinely work towards after a time of loss. We take only the wisdoms with us We don't need to carry the whole goddamn memory. Now that just gave me a sigh of release. This is that chapter that you're clothing, and I feel in many ways this is karmic. Whatever ended here for you, where you're now encouraged and invited to take only the wisdoms of it with you, not the pain, not the sense of loss, because it's this sense of loss that can pollute our potential in the future, yeah? That has the potential to amplify, and we start creating this fear mindset that we will always lose, so we don't begin things, we don't start things. I feel strongly that I want to... Look, the Two of Wands has wanted to show up for you, love. This is the Two of Wands that I was talking about that is evident in the world. I just noticed, I love how I pick up on the cryptic. Look. Sorry, give me a minute. Look at this. You, after this, you're learning from your losses, guys. After this time of looking at things from a different view, maybe this invitation is kicking off for you now. Maybe this is what is to come as you close off May, okay? Maybe this is the gift of the retrograde cycle for you. I can't even speak English. I'm so excited because I'm seeing so many different things. Now, the hangman, he looks at the world in a completely different way. This is upright, okay? That's him upright, but as you can see, he's hanging from a tree upside down, all right? So he's topsy-turvy. If your world flipped upside down, if your perception of someone or a pathway has felt completely imbalanced and uncertain in recent times, you know, maybe even the last 6 months in many ways, you are on shaky ground. I feel like you are coming into a strong sense of clarity that this uncomfortable space offered you a gift of seeing yourself, your path, your motivations, what drives you, whether it is wisdom to respond rather than fear that makes us react, and we all do it, guys. Now, this moment, this time has offered you a gift, and you will be clarifying and solidifying that in the coming 2 weeks in many ways. What you can achieve moving forward is huge, whatever that is in here for you. Look at this, the gift of the Two of Wands, okay? See how he's holding a globe and he has those two massive wands. As I said earlier, the Two of Wands, sorry about the motorbikes. Is that a motorbike? It's you. The gift of the Two of Wands, guys, is he cannot see the manifestation of his intentions, but he, with closed eyes and a full heart, he's putting his intentions out there, yeah? See those two massive wands? And the globe that he is holding in his right hand. Our right side is our action side. It's our masculine side. It's what we're choosing to act on. You've acted on something here. And a choice is an action. It's a masculine energy, Gemini. Now, you're choosing to change your world, to step up and close a chapter in your world, an element of yourself. You're choosing movement, yeah, when it comes to your world. Watch how this expands. Okay, remember? Watch how this expands and you are immersed in full control of that intuitive optimism thanks to the Two of Wands, and you are immersed. Your whole world expands. She is in the globe, holding those two wands. Look how it's morphed. It's gone from this, yeah, to this. There is so much cryptic, like, whoever made the tarot, I swear they must have been on something divinely guided, yeah, a natural high maybe. She's inside the globe and she is surrounded by the fixture, the fixed signs. She is fixed on her new path, her purpose, her sense of idealism. Yeah? When two become one, 21. 21 operates at the energy of 3. And it is the 3 of Wands, that is that creative energy. I could keep reading the cryptos in that. After a time that probably felt like this, Gemini. But let us not be afraid of the darkness that emerges out of the tarot cards, because it's within the darkness that true creation is born, yeah? The darkness of the womb, the darkness of our pain invites us to an opportunity to realize we are the light and we have a choice to rise. Darkness is necessary so that we truly appreciate the sunrise. Something had to fall. A belief, a fear, the way in which we were living, loving, connecting or not. When the tower falls, we get to truly see how it was built on the energy of perhaps, and this is the gift of the retrograde. The retrogrades, okay? 4 planets are currently in retrograde. There's going to be a couple more next month. When the towers fall, okay, these dark cards or chapters in our life, whatever, there's nothing to be afraid of, because it invites us into authenticity. We don't have room, time to pretend anymore. Play a role, pretend that we're okay. I can just say that I am not okay. And we are feeling free when we just speak our truth. Or I can say I'm not going to allow this anymore. This is my boundary line. I don't want to live like that anymore. I want to rebuild, start all over again. And that is okay. Because when we are not living in our highest authenticity, our higher self comes in and asks us, you know, are you truly happy? And we always have those musings, those inklings. Yeah, we can pretend as much as we like, Gemini. But all structures built on false pretense falls, okay? And how anything starts is how it will end. If I'm starting out of fear, if I'm starting out of false motivations, if I'm starting based on intentions that are not probably high vibrational or for my highest intent or for another's highest intent, whatever the case may be, how something starts is how it ends. It's the rule of the universe, the law of the universe. And that is us, that's asking that to come crashing down because we want to build on solid foundations. This is relevant for a few of the Geminis I'm picking up on, because after this fall, after seeing things from a whole new way, your motivations, the way in which we connect or do not connect to others, the way in which we've allowed things, we've stopped just watching, we're now communicating and acting. Yeah, there's a strong invitation here to really use that masculine element, to really thought, prayer, meditation, visualizations are great, but it is action that actually counts. That is our responsibility. You know, that's our responsibility. We are gifted with the right to experience our divinity and our creativity, but we have the responsibility to act on it, Gemini. I'm feeling really passionate about your reading, can you tell? Like, I feel like I need to push you over that cliff that represents a dream, the next chapter that I'm not in the business of telling people what to do. Where was I going with that? All towers have to fall, because if they're started on weak foundations, intentions, ideas, motivations, the way in which something starts must end in the same way. That is the natural law and cycle of things. And you have decided, after seeing something in a whole new way, yourself, your intentions, your fears, the deeper energies and connections and dynamics that are going on in some connections, relationships, family or otherwise, the way in which you love, the way in which you haven't allowed yourself to openly connect in the way you've wanted to, whatever the case may be, you have now decided that you are committing to building foundations that are strong and long-lasting. Look at this. You are willing to work commit, build, no matter how long it takes. What you want is your dynasty. What you want is the energy of this 10 of coins, long-term success, long-term commitment. A tower that does not fall because it was built on strong foundations. This is the dynasty card, the marriage card, the commitment card. I am committing to this new path, this new way of being. It doesn't matter how long we've been together, our relationship will now be like this because this is our new recommitment, whatever the case may be. I feel this is very strong. This reconnecting into another that we've always been with or been with for a long time. I'm feeling that energy very strongly, Gemini. You're committed to that no matter how long it takes. But something had to fall here. Maybe I'm talking to Geminis in the recent past. They did leave a connection. There was an ending to a chapter of their life, the way in which they viewed their career. There was a job that ended, like I said, a connection that ended, and you've repositioned the ways in which you've seen patterning. That's the gift of the retrogrades. Patterning and intentions and motivations when we make these choices to connect in a certain way, when we make these choices to fulfill pathways and careers because it was gifted to us, the idea anyway, by society tells us we need to be secure, we need to look successful, we need it to look like this, yeah? Like you've looked at something in a whole new way, you know, and you have decided you're going to commit to this new path, new way of being, new way of connecting in a whole new way. For the next relationship that comes in your life, for the next job that comes in your life, the next way in which you're going to do this thing. This is about connecting into the creativity and wisdom within, okay? Thanks to the Queen of Wands and the Hermit card that wants to show up, and I'm also holding the 8 of Wands. It's about communication, communication, communication. Communicating the wisdom, the unique wisdom that comes within you. This is not about replication, is what I feel like I need to say, Gemini. When you see the Queen of Wands energy, she knows who she is. She is confident. All heads turn. She has this energy about her that is just imbued and deeply felt in here because she's done the work. She's built her inner foundations, her inner temple from scratch after shit like this. Make no mistake, when someone makes something look interesting, okay, and maybe this was a time where you felt like this and haven't felt like this for a long time. Make no mistake, when someone makes something look easy, effortless, or they appear to be so comfortable in themselves that everything just comes to them, our mainstream world will tell us they're just lucky or it's because of X, Y, Z, yeah? Mainstream level, mainstream focus. But we know from a higher consciousness point of view that that individual is operating within higher frequencies and they are manifesting, rotating in and drawing in what they believe vibrates and aligns to them. That is the magic of that. And it's simple. It is a divine birthright we all have. It's been a big theme in the readings in the last couple of days, you know. This energy cannot be replicated. It must be experienced. It can be replicated. That's what the mainstream world is about, replication, yeah? Copying, whatever the case may be. You can replicate it. But it's most potent when we realize it for ourselves, because that's when we truly shine. That it activates our DNA, it activates our consciousness. That's when it's real, Gemini, because it's starting, this fire is divinely sparked within. And when we genuinely stand in our power, go back and have a look at some old readings. I've talked a lot about the difference between empowerment and power, and how the paradigm of power, control, all of that lower sort of energy is reflected in our mainstream, and how empowerment is all about that 5D energy, yeah, 3D and 5D. We cannot truly shine uniquely as is our birthright and then begin manifesting unless we've connected to this energy authentically on our own. It cannot, that's what I mean by it cannot be replicated. We must, and the reason I'm saying all that is we must go to the wisdom within. We must go to our own inner temple in order to experience what this energy feels like as an outfit. More than an outfit, as a way of being, so that it shines from the inside out. It's falling in love with life again. Cupid's arrow is inviting you, is asking you, do you want to be hit by us? There's abundance here in the Eight of Wands. You know, there's an abundant energy about this process where we take the journey that is raw and real and truly identify the wisdom. Can you hear the beautiful ice cream truck? Good thing my kids aren't here because I never have cash. Oh, maybe the ice cream truck is relevant. It reminds us of a time when we were free to just enjoy and just delight. And life offers us sounds that remind us of those times. And it's about feeling alive like that again, Gemini. Like on a Sunday when the ice cream truck drives down the street and everyone's like, Mom, the ice cream truck's here. Like, how much is that just the pinnacle of the day for kids? Oh, I feel like happy tears and crying now. There are some beautiful, simplistic enjoyments that happen when we are divinely embracing when we give ourselves permission to shine, as children do. And then, you know what? Sometimes it's not until old age that we remember this most potent and simple freedom and truth, is that freedom is about that childlike essence, and that it is that reconnection to that knowing, that remembering, that makes us and helps us fall in love with life again and our path and our purpose and our potential, no matter what has happened. Even if on some days life makes me feel like I look like this because of everything I've been through, rather than looking like this, yeah? I see, I'm talking to Gemini, so it truly is time to end some form of conflict life. There's a time for change. 2 5s now. The 5 of Swords, the 5 of Wands. We all know this is conflict, conflict, conflict. Internal conflict, primarily. Because that's where conflict starts. Because it wants to be communicated, it wants to be expressed, and so that naturally comes out then. And then we're starting conflict with others. There's conflict when we're not authentically addressing it. Wow, sorry. You're closing a chapter. You're closing the door on conflict, the internal conflict, which ultimately results in the conflict with others. There's an apology here. Maybe you feel like you need to express an apology. Maybe you're feeling like an apology needs to be expressed to you. Maybe you need to apologize to yourself for the journey, for the path, for the wisdoms that have been gained, yeah? And make no mistakes, change can still happen authentically, genuinely in here, even if we do not get an apology we feel we deserve. Because we can wait our whole lives, Gemini, for an apology that never comes, and so that's never going to be an encouragement you will hear from me. Do not remain stagnant waiting for something that may not arrive. This is about you connecting into this beautiful essence, okay? And falling in love with your path, your life, yourself again, your potential and possibilities. No more holding back. The 9 of Wands is the wounded healer, and it can make us hold back when we are afraid of life and we're afraid of not embracing these beautiful new beginnings. The Ace of Wands, this is a passionate new beginning. If you are not feeling that yet, it is because this wisdom needs to be integrated. But you will. You truly will. There's a lot of clarity in that, thanks to the sun. I could keep going. There's a lot of clarity, beautiful clarity in that, thanks to the sun energy. It is life force, it is vitality. And we are just about to enter Gemini season, aren't we? Goodness, yeah. Now, when does it kick off? It does kick off at the end of May. I had a bit of a time warp then. The sun is in your sign. It is time for you to shine. Guess what, my loves? with Sagittarius, you guys will be kicking off the ecliptical cycle from next month. We've just had a 2.5-year cycle of eclipses, solar and lunar eclipses, thanks to Cancer and Capricorn. 2 years from now, I can guarantee you, you will know and truly feel this deep inherent change that is promised thanks to eclipse energy. Yeah, equate that to whatever you wish. The towers coming down, getting raw and real, choosing to fall in love with life again, seeing ourselves, our paths, our motivations with real eyes, to truly realize where to from here. And that is what it's all about. It's about that choice to keep going. Hey guys, I better wrap it up before the dogs start barking. Come here. Alrighty, look for the signs. Spend time with your pets. Know that we always have a choice to either see things from the higher view and truly choose our battles wisely after a time of assessment and spending time in that higher consciousness awareness of ourselves, so that we can truly understand the dynamics that are happening within the connections we have in our lives and the conflicts we have in our lives. And we have that choice, yeah, to respond to life from this higher awareness or to react to life in fear based on our primal animal instincts, okay? Time for a shift. You are being invited into an ecliptical cycle that will help you truly eclipse a lot of the things that no longer serve you. All right, my lovely Geminis. Until next time, thank you for watching.